Now, back to more of Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theatre. And your host, Lisa Condit.
Thank you all for listening today. I'm excited to bring you Damian Darlington from Brit Floyd. He is coming to the Hanover Theatre with the world's greatest Pink Floyd show, Brit Floyd. They're doing Echoes 2020, and that's going to be on Wednesday, March 11th. Welcome.
Hello, it's nice to be with you.
Absolutely. So, Damian, I have to say, Worcester absolutely loves Brit Floyd. We have had Brit Floyd come back again and again, very much by popular demand, and it seems to be getting more popular every time you bring the show here. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, as a musician, how I started to do this?
Sure.
Yeah, well, I've been playing Pink Floyd music professionally for 26 years now. I started Brit Floyd 10 years ago now, but prior to that I was in another Pink Floyd show for 17 years. And when it comes to me discovering Pink Floyd, it goes right back to when I was about 13 years old when I first heard a Pink Floyd album, which was The Wall. And that was my gateway into being a fan of Pink Floyd. Little did I know at that stage I would end up doing what I'm doing now as a musician, but when I got into my early 20s, I had the opportunity to play in a Pink Floyd show, and here I am 26 years later, touring the world and touring America every year, all over the U.S., playing Pink Floyd music to thousands and thousands of fans everywhere we go.
It's incredible, isn't it? Now, I, too, remember first listening to Pink Floyd, and it was definitely The Wall. That was the first album, and, of course, the first song that became really popular when I was in junior high school. And it's amazing to me, but I understand it, how it's really maintain its relevance. There aren't that many really iconic albums and bands like Pink Floyd, Brit Floyd, doing the work that you do. What do you think the secret is? What do you think people really connect with as far as the music goes?
Pink Floyd it's sort of deceptively simple but complicated at the same time. It's very accessible. People can, get their head around this music. They can find a lot of messages that are relevant in the lyrics. There's a lot of beautiful melodies going on. There's so much feel and emotion in the music. All of these ingredients, all put together, help it remain relevant and help it find new fans within new generations that come along. So it's. When we get there up on stage, we're obviously seeing people who were into this music in the 60s and the 70s, but we're seeing whole new generations of much younger people in the audience who are loving this music just as much. So it's definitely got a future and many years to come where people are going to be discovering this music and finding it compelling and becoming fans of it.
Absolutely. And now Echoes 2020 is a brand new production. Tell us a little bit about Echoes 2020 and what really makes it different from some of the other tours that you've brought to us.
The sort of centerpiece of this year's set list is the track Echoes itself, which is very much an iconic Pink Floyd track. It was way back on the Medal album in 1971 that it first got recorded. It's the whole side of the second vinyl album, so it really is an epic track. And it was very much the point, I think, where Pink Floyd sort of discovered their sound. What was to come with Dark Side of the Moon afterwards. They very much sort of set the scene for what the albums that were to come afterwards. But obviously, over and above that, we're playing a whole variety of other tracks from different Pink Floyd albums, and the sort of favourites will still be in there, like Comfortably Numb and Wish You Were Here, and tracks from Dark Side of the Moon. So we're going to give people a really wide experience of Pink Floyd's catalogue within this set list, but Echoes remains the centerpiece of it.
Well, and so the era-defining song Echoes, am I right in saying that it's a 23-minute song? Is that right?
Yeah, thereabouts, 20, give or take a minute.
23 minutes. And part of what makes your performance so amazing is it's a note-by-note performance of the original, right? So can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to break it down. I mean, 23 minutes is a long song. Note by note, how many notes would that end up being? It's got to be like thousands, right?
Well, I suppose so. I'm not counting them all. Not yet. But there's funnily enough, we had a laser a guy with us not a few years ago. There's a song called Pigs off the album Animals, and there's a lot of cowbell hits in it, and he side stage would work out exactly how many cowbells were hit during the course of that 10-minute song, and it was something like 1,000 plus. So to count all the notes in Echoes, I think we're probably tens of thousands of notes altogether from all the different instruments.
Oh, how fun though, really. And so what gave you the idea to bring that to your new production? Is it because you hadn't done it before, or?
We have done it before, but not in about 5 years. So it definitely felt the right moment to bring it back into the set list. I mean, we every year we tour and we try to change the set list up as much as we possibly can. Obviously there are tracks that people are going to expect to hear, like Comfortably Numb and Wish You Were Here, Another Brick in the Wall, perhaps. But outside of that, we do our very best to represent as many of Pink Floyd's albums as we can, and to change the set list up as much as possible. And even after doing it for all these many years, there are still Pink Floyd tracks that we haven't played. And there's one in particular this year time around which we're introducing into the set off the album Atom Heart Mother that we've never played before. So, and that's to celebrate 50 years since that album came out. So last year we were touring a large chunk of the Wall. So this year will be a very, very different set list indeed if people came to see us then.
Well, we are all looking forward to it. And everybody, there are still tickets available at the Hanover Theatre. We spell theatre the British way with an RE.org. And I have to say that tickets to this show are completely reasonably priced. They start at just $38. We do have some group discounts. And again, tickets are available on our website at the Hanover Theatre, spelled with an RE.org. Anything else you want us to know before we run out and buy tickets?
Well, we've certainly upgraded the light show again this year. There's been quite a redesign, a whole new updated lighting fixtures introduced, and more lasers. So yeah, it will be definitely a different and a bigger and better show than people would have seen when they've come to see us in the past. And
let me tell you, the Hanover Theatre is going to be lit up in a most spectacular way that if you haven't been one of these shows before, you are not going to believe your eyes. Is that fair to say, Damian?
That sounds fair enough to me. It's a stunning show, I promise. Everybody to experience in every way.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Really appreciate it. And again, we're looking forward to the world's greatest Pink Floyd show, Brit Floyd, Echoes 2020, playing at the Hanover Theatre Wednesday, March 11th. Again, tickets available at thehanovertheatre.org. Damian Darlington, thank you again so much. Everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be back after this quick break here on Behind the Scenes with the Hanover Theatre on WCRN AM 830.